planty friends, and welcome to Plan O'Clock News.
Nice to be in orbit.
Today we'll be featuring an Eucalyptus, a Monstera Adansonii, a Calathea Makoyana, a Swedish Ivy, and breaking news from our Venus Flytrap. Stay tuned to see what's going on. Let's go with the Eucalyptus. It's a genus of over 700 species of flowering trees and shrubs. Most species of eucalyptus are native to Australia, and every state and territory has its own representative species. About 75% of the forest in Australia is eucalyptus. Wildfire is a feature of the Australian landscape, and most eucalyptus have adapted to it. Most either resprout after a fire, or they have seeds that they will survive fires. Eucalyptus vary in size. They go from shrubs to tall trees that can go up to 60 meters. And the Eucalyptus regnans, this one here, is the tallest flowering tree on earth. Nearly all the eucalyptus have evergreen leaves, except some species that they will lose their leaves once the dry season is ended. But the majority, they will have these leaves all year long. The most recognizable characteristics from eucalyptus are the fruits and flowers, but most species don't flower until more mature foliage is showing up. Most eucalyptus are not well tolerant to cold, and a slightly frost of -5 degrees Celsius will probably damage them. There is lots and lots to talk about this plant, and we will leave it for future Plan O'Clock news, so stay tuned to keep updated on eucalyptus. Now let's move on to the next one, which will be Monstera Adansonii, that we have here, decorating our set. Monstera Adansonii is commonly known as Swiss cheese plant, and that's due because of the holes that the leaves has, commonly known as fenestrations. It's native to Central and South America, and there you will find it climbing trees, fighting and competing for a little bit of sun. It's a tropical perennial that it's usually grown as a houseplant. It's pretty easy to care for, and it loves to climb or to trail. It is a fast grower, and it can grow expansive heights in short amount of time. It is also toxic to cats and dogs, so keep an eye on it. As it grows in South and Central America in the jungle, it's good to keep in mind that it won't like direct sunlight, because normally grows under the shadow of big trees, like most of the subtropical plants, tropical climate plants. It's very easy to propagate. You just simply have to take a cutting from the stem with some sections in here with nodes, and then just simply put it in water, and in 3-4 weeks you will see some roots sprouting. This one is still just a baby, and it has grown one leaf in the last month. Let's go on to Calathea Makoyana, or also known as a peacock plant. It's native to eastern Brazil. That's why it can be a little bit picky with the conditions, because they need lots of humidity, and normally inside our homes we have the heaters, and it can get pretty dry. It can grow up to 45 centimeters if it's well taken care of. It's not cold tolerant, and it requires a minimum temperature of 16 degrees Celsius. It's also known as prayer plant, and as most of the family, this one also closes its leaves when night arrives. It will get like this. And then when the sun rises, the leaves will go down. It's basically just to capture as much light as they can. They also have the underleaves, like purple. I can't stop looking at them. So beautiful. Calatheas propagate by division, meaning that once the plant is mature enough and you need to transplant it, you will be able to separate some clumps of stems and then just have a couple of plants. Now we have with us the Swedish Ivy, or also known as Plectrantus Verticillatus. It has nothing to do, it's not related to the ivy family, the Hedera helix that we saw in a previous episode of Plan O'Clock News, and it's not from Sweden, so the name is pretty deceptive. The plant is native to southern Africa, but it's been very naturalized in both hemispheres. It's grown everywhere, and in places where it's frost-free, you can find it as a ground cover. They will not grow up more than 30 centimeters tall, as you can see these vines, but they will grow long. Just water it when the soil is dry, allow maybe a couple of days to be dry, and then just water it thoroughly again. And you will have this lovely plant that it's very easy to propagate. You just have to cut some stems, like these ones. Also, it encourages it to flower. It has tiny flowers that they will sporadically sprout, normally between spring and late fall. But the flowers look very, very small. They look like tiny orchids. But well, and overall, it's a very easy plant to take care of. I basically neglect it. And when I remember, I just water it. I'm like, damn, I forgot to water it. It's very dry. I don't know how you're surviving. But well, it seems that the less I water it, the more it's thriving. Also, I would say this one is a variegated one because you can see in here the green leaves and then here more the white ones. I'm not sure. It could be. Do you have a Swedish Ivy? Do you have a variegated one? Can we confirm if it's a variegated one or if it's just one that has faded color because I'm not taking care of it? Let us know in the comments. And breaking news from the Venus Flytrap. Currently it has 3 flower stalks. The massive one we saw on the first episode of Plan O'Clock News. If you have not watched it, go and see it. And then we have this one that has already opened 3 flowers. One, I already been pollinating it, as you can see, just like that. You will just wait for the middle thing to look fuzzy, and then you will take a brush and gently take the pollen from the sides, as you see, and then just gently poke it into the fuzzy thing. And in some weeks, I think we will have some seeds from Venus Flytrap. Also, even though they said that it will struggle when it will be flowering, it's just been growing and growing. The mouths are not getting bigger, but it has not stopped growing new mouths. But overall, it looks pretty healthy. Are you excited to see if we're gonna get seeds? Are you gonna follow the process with us? Well, that's it for our planty news today. Thanks for watching Plan O'Clock News and see you next Tuesday with more planty updates. And remember to water your plant.